advisor to the government, so I will try to remain within my whatever I want to talk. May not be that candid. It will be a bit subdued. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum and a good afternoon, particularly those who have come all the way from various parts of the world to attend this particular event. And I wish success of this event to the beginning, because today is the opening day and it will continue for a few more days. Though I am very bad at reading from the script, yet I will try to remain within the script, because the time is 10 minutes, 5 minutes? 10 minutes. But gentlemen, as you know, Bangladesh is one of the important littoral of Bay of Bengal, obviously connecting with the littoral of Indian Ocean. And increasingly, both the Bay and Indian Ocean is becoming important to the world, particularly when it comes to muscle flexing. As you know, the geopolitics of this Bay and Indian Ocean has been shifting from years after years and after years. As we are littoral of Bay of Bengal, we are very much concerned with the changes in the geopolitics. And of course, we are also concerned with the development not only in Bay of Bengal, but also in the Indian Ocean. Because our EEZ is almost touching Indian Ocean. And we have recently signed the part of that EEZ document. As you know, the Bangladesh is thought to have 20 trillion cubic feet of gas reserves, particularly in the Bay and the Bay Area, which fortunately that we have already settled our issues with India and as well as Myanmar. And of course, the Myanmar has the fourth largest proven reserves of natural gas. As you know, the Bay of Bengal is shared by 6 different countries. And the countries are, most of you know, but let me tell you what the countries are. Is Maldives, India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Thailand, and Malaysia, and of course, some part is Indonesia. Therefore, it is shared by multinational interest group. As I was telling, the minerals that Bay of Bengal supposed to have, and which probably attracts many of the countries in the world, and they are even Bay of Bengal as deposit of titanium of northeastern Sri Lankan and the rare earths in the northeastern India. Northeastern part of Bay of Bengal. And the fishing, of course, we do live on the fishing. As you know, Bangladesh is the 4th largest fishing country. And our at least 1/3 of the population are living on fishing and on the rivers, which we have over 1,000 rivers. Somebody said about 54. Yes, 54 is shared rivers. But otherwise, we have more than 1,000 rivers. Navigable is 370 rivers, which are navigable in a sense, navigated by the mechanical transport. But otherwise, almost all rivers are navigable by small little country boats. Then we have the organizations that are going around in Bay of Bengal, which you know is the SAARC, ASEAN, Indian Ocean Rim Association, that is IORA, and BIMSTEC. If you ask me, most of these are not, in fact, non-functional, though they have organizations and they, of course, sit together yearly. But in that, SAARC is not non-functional, ASEAN is, of course, very vibrant. And IORA is, well, it functions, sometimes it doesn't. BIMSTEC is non-starter. So that means that we in Bay of Bengal area don't have that kind of a cooperation which we should have had between all these countries. And the reason is one, which I'm coming, why we are not able to cooperate that way. SAARC started from Bangladesh. It continued for some time. And then perhaps there was a subcontinental geopolitics, which is absolutely different than any other part of the world. It was tussle between India and Pakistan, and that's how the SAARC died somewhere 10 years back. And people are trying to revive SAARC, but I don't know how much they would be. SAARC has been, as it is told, that was the future of South Asian cooperation. And there were a lot of futures, there were a lot of talk about SAARC. It continued for some time, but unfortunately, as I said, the conflict, if not conflict, mental conflict between two countries, Pakistan and India, had torpedoed SAARC. And then comes the BIMSTEC. BIMSTEC, as far as I'm concerned, is my personal opinion. Though people are trying to revive it, but BIMSTEC is also, so far, it's non-starter. That means we really don't have that kind of a cooperative mechanism in the Bay of Bengal, which we have to really think that how we, the countries around the Bay of Bengal, should be together to harness whatever we have, the ocean has given to us. And then, of course, the bigger side of it. There's a clash between Belt Road Initiative with some of the, of course, led by USA, India, Japan, and some other countries, which is known as, Quad. And then, of course, the strategic thing comes up, IPS. To my mind, again, it's my personal study, to my mind is nothing but to stop Chinese influence over this region, or I would say over Asia, and mostly Asia, and also the Afro-Asian countries. And we are a small country like Bangladesh. We are tossed between two, because China is as good friend with Bangladesh as any other country. For example, America, we have a very good relationship. Japan is one of the biggest donors of Bangladesh, and we have a very good relationship from the right beginning of the Bangladesh independence. And of course, the other countries, India is a big neighbor and a friendly country. So we are, in fact, torn in between the tussle that Quad and IPS has. And that is one big issue that one have to discuss for Bangladesh, how to manage remaining in between. That is a big issue for Bangladesh, not only it's in domestic policies, but it's a big issue for the strategic situation or geopolitical thoughts of Bangladesh. Now, as I said, that Bangladesh economy is much dependent on the ocean and on the rivers of the country. It not only fishery, but it also so many other activities of the river. We have river ports and number of river ports. Many countries may not have that. Now, coming back to Bay of Bengal complicacy. Currently that the complications arises is from the about 1.2 million or 1.3 million Rohingyas in Bangladesh, which makes this region is more, I would say, sensitive in that sense. What's happening in Myanmar, next door to Bangladesh? Myanmar is, of course, is one of the largest country that shares not only Bay of Bengal but also shares Indian Ocean. It's very important. Geopolitically, it is very important. Strategically, it is very important, very importantly located. Now, we have that problem, with the presence of Rohingyas for last 7 years. Sorry. It is not first time that we are facing this problem. We did in 1978, it was resolved within no time. We did in 1992, it was resolved in a year or two, but now it is 8th year that we find no resolution of this issue. And it's it has become kind of a geopolitical, in fact, tool for Asia, Southeast Asia, South Asia, and rest of the world. Now, that's big problem with us because the country is Myanmar, but we are talking about its part which is known as Rakhine. In olden days, used to be known as Arakan. And Arakan and the Bengal had a historical relationship a long time back. I'm not going back to the history, but these are the people who have been living in that part of the Myanmar, or which was Burma, for thousands of years. But now they find that they are no more citizen of Myanmar, and they have been forcefully evicted and thrown. This becomes a big problem for Bangladesh. As I said, both geopolitically and also economically. There was a situation when the world came to resolve this crisis, but it has not been resolved, and I don't see in many years it could be resolved. Therefore, those who are here and talking about Bay of Bengal has to also take into account that Bangladesh is facing one of the serious problems with the largest, if you call it largest, refugee concentration in a very small little place. How to resolve this crisis? There have been many formula, many things, but to resolve this crisis, recently I gave a formula which has to be probably supported by international community, if that is so. Otherwise, in long run, I find this area is going to be the hotbed of the power politics of the big countries. Already India is involved because they have a Kaladan project. China is involved. They have CMAC going through Rakhine State. And of course, the Western countries led by USA is involved through the Burma Act. So things are pretty complicated for Bangladesh. How do we resolve? We resolve internationally. We cannot resolve by ourselves. Then, of course, we're talking about that country, Myanmar, which is now going through a serious civil war. Though this country has been in civil war for the last 70 years, but for the last 10 to 15 years, it has intensified. And that part of the civil war is on the side of Bangladesh. And we are facing it on the security side of it. You know that we have a small little island. We are connected from Chittagong. Most of the time, the people cannot move because they are firing coming from the other side. Whether it is Arakan army, the rebel army, or it is Tatmadaw, we don't know, but we are seriously facing it. And the civil war, or part of the war between Arakan army and Tatmadaw, is right in the next door of Bangladesh borders. There has been a lot of firing within Bangladesh, and the government of Bangladesh has restrained itself, not taking any military action. But if it is not resolved, this could be a flashpoint in South Asia particularly of a very big conflict. And that conflict not only would engulf Bangladesh or India or Myanmar, that might draw the bigger powers in this region. So that's my personal thinking, and I'm just sharing it with you. Maybe that you discuss how to resolve this crisis. And for the peace of this region, this crisis has to be resolved and understood by international community. Well, gentlemen, having said so, since I am responsible of the shipping ministry, we definitely look for a cooperative system, the maritime system for this region, not only for this region but the world maritime system. I personally have been inviting people to invest in shipping, particularly the ports that we have. We are a small country, but we have 3 ports, seaports, and 1 deep sea port which is coming up, which holds a future for Bangladesh. And I have, whosoever I found any power, I have asked them to invest in shipping in Bangladesh, which is really prospective, invest in the ports, and also the coming up deep sea port where there's huge area of investment. Currently is being developed by Japan, but we invite FDIs from the other countries. Bangladesh has a very, I would say, bright future on ports, shipping, and of course, connected with it is the maritime business. I would stop it here and not take much time of yours. Thank you, Adilur. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening at this time. You people are hungry because 2:30 Bangladesh Standard Time. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.
I invite you to make your way to Oasis for lunch, and I promise you will enjoy a wonderful meal. Please remember, we will be resuming the next session sharp at 3 p.m. So kindly be back on time. For our speakers and moderators of the next sessions and roundtable, your lunch is arranged at Nirala on the first floor. For our speakers and moderators of the next sessions and roundtable, your lunch is arranged at Nirala on the first floor.